after Johnny Depp lost his attempt to have a retrial in his case against the Sun newspaper that called him a wife beater, Amber Heard is replying to Johnny's fans on Twitter.
Yeah, it started with her responding to Johnny's lawyer. So after Adam Waldman posted doubts that Amber was physically abused by Johnny in December 2015 because she looked fine at a photo shoot the next day, Amber replied on Twitter saying, "Yes, Mr. Waldman, I may be wearing makeup on this occasion, but on every occasion, you will still be short."
Oh, geez. Yeah, and when one of Johnny's fans responded, "I'd rather be short than an abusive gold digger," Amber replied, "It's good to be realistic with your goals." And to another who wrote that Johnny only lost that case against the Sun because he was up against Rupert Murdoch, and the next time it would be different, Amber responded, "It must be so hard."
Does this seem like a good move to you, Alameen?
No. But nothing about that whole story seems like a good move to anybody. I mean, like it really has been one of the most sort of drawn out stories that we've seen in the press for some time, and every side of it seems like it just like seems to be like continuously escalating on all of the sides. Johnny Depp fans, by the way, are not really willing to listen to accusations that Johnny Depp may have been an abusive person. That is an uncomfortable reality that they have to face. It's, you know, like I think they become really protective of this figure, and they have to maybe ask themselves why. Having said that, you know, the stories that we're hearing about Amber Heard's behaviors, some of the behaviors that got her kicked out of Aquaman 2, they're also like not particularly savory. So I think like people have to, with this particular story, get out of the habit of investing in a celebrity's narrative so much that for you, it's the only story that there is. This is one of those stories where like I feel like we need more reporting, more people to talk on the record before we can even begin to make up our minds about what this story is actually about.
Yeah, this to me is where stan culture rears its head as being the worst thing to happen to culture, which is just blind devotion, regardless of any actual sort of evidence or reason. And I think that anybody would look at this story with Johnny Depp and Amber Heard, and I'm like, I don't want to touch it. It's very toxic. There's so much going on there. I don't even know how, but yet there's the group of people who, regardless of what the realities are, will just always pick a side. And those people tend to pick a side publicly, and they do it on Twitter, and that will never end. But these people, they're not coming at this from any sort of basis of reality or facts. They're just coming at it as a front line of defense for the person that they stan, and that is always going to be a problem.
Yeah, Q says this is messy. Linda says they're both at fault in this situation. Leave it to the courts, in my opinion. Yes, she only talked about it for the mess. Nelson, she's downright crazy. Yeah, I mean, we've talked about this situation off and on over, I don't even know how long this is going for, like 4 years? Every time we do, we get a lot of reaction. Yeah, we get a lot of reaction on social media about it. But yeah, that's the thing. Neither one of them have clean hands in this situation. We both know that Amber and Johnny didn't, you know, act. Neither one were angels in this situation. So they're both at fault to a certain extent. That doesn't mean, you know, one person deserves to be abused, but they're both at fault in the situation. For Amber to go on social media and start replying to Johnny Depp fans, it just strikes me as very petty and doesn't put her in a very good light. Like it almost comes off to me as like, na 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 na, I won. Like it just kind of this really petty, childish way to approach things. If you're really just worried about, you know, some justice, getting justice for yourself, why are you worrying about Johnny Depp fans and going on Twitter and kind of sticking it to them a little bit? Like that sounds like that even strikes me as like, okay, what is Amber really up to if she wants to go do that, go after his fans and kind of, you know, stick it to them that I won kind of thing.
But we should say that, like, you know, the fact that it's messy is true. It also has invited a lot of media organizations to, I think, try to like back away from the story, and that's the last thing that we need. You know, like we don't need people to back away from it. We need just more people to do better reporting on the story, so that we actually know a little bit more about what happened. But like you said, like nobody wants to touch this, and even, you know, people in the comments are like, don't want to touch this. I'm like, that is a fair reaction because it is such an overwhelming story. But then the downside of that is like you don't get a very evolved conversation about what abuse in a relationship looks like, and like that's the last thing we need is silence on that. And so I would hope more reporters kind of turn their attention more towards the story.
Yeah, I don't know if mainstream media knows how to deal with the idea that a woman in a relationship might have also been abusive. I think that that's part of the reason
That's
why
true.
people might have backed off on this. I don't know if they know what to do with that. It was easy when it was, Johnny Depp, and we've told these stories many, but once it started getting really crowded, and once a little bit of that information started coming out where maybe it was both of them, I don't know if people know what to do with that. I don't know if they know how to tell that story.
Mm-hmm.
And she's going to be back in Aquaman 2. She's going to be back for the sequel. That was big news when she was going to be back in that, but Johnny was pulled from Fantastic Beasts. Like, that was a big headline.
Oh, I thought she was pulled from Aquaman too.
No, she's going to be back. Yeah, unless it's
Okay.
changed recently. But yeah, we talked about that a couple months ago. She's going to be back. Yeah.